This week we are plating grace with a Lenten-inspired meal by My Time in Italy. We've got a baked eggplant, which will have some tomato sauce and some bubbly mozzarella cheese. We're gonna make a simple aglio olio pasta that's basically spaghetti with olive oil and garlic, and then we're gonna just serve it up with a nice simple arugula salad. I'm basically gonna just take the peel off of the garlic, and I'm just gonna shred it into this canned tomato sauce, or you could use fresh, and that way we keep things super simple with a lot of flavor. A little bit of olive oil, a little bit of salt and pepper, and also some Italian seasoned. And guess what, folks? That one is basically done. It's just gonna get stirred up just a little bit and warmed up a little bit. You actually don't have to cook a lot of it because it's gonna cook in the oven. I lived at the North American College in Rome. I could see St. Peter's, and we had the most beautiful 360 panoramic view of the entire old city and even the new city. But I also had a neighbor, and Bambino Gesù Hospital, which stands for the Child Jesus, was a hospital where sick kids from around Italy and even around Europe would come and get, some help. And it just got me thinking that Lent is really a time for us to hear the cries of the poor, which is why I'd really recommend that we maybe support St. Jude's Children's Hospital, St. Jude being the patron saint of hopeless causes. And what we need to do is remind ourselves that we're a part of people's sufferings and their struggles. And if we can do anything, especially in this Lenten season, since this meal is so inexpensive, you can literally use the money you would save for that, a bigger meal, and basically, folks, give it to St. Jude's Children's Hospital. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get the oil nice and hot, and I'm just gonna make sure that I can layer as many of these eggplants as possible. A little salt and pepper on both sides. And as soon as it gets a little brown, flip it over, into the pan it goes with some tomato sauce and some cheese. It's gonna be delicious. I put a little bit of sauce on the bottom of the pan first, layering it out. It doesn't have to be perfect because basically one section of that eggplant will give you about 2 or 3 slices, which is perfect for a serving. A little bit of mozzarella cheese, and basically that's it. Now that I've got this layered, and it takes a little bit of patience, I'm basically gonna top it off with some panko, or you could use Italian seasoned breadcrumbs. And why? Because it kind of creates a nice little texture to the moistness of this eggplant. And then I'm gonna hit it with just a little bit more Italian seasoned to make sure the cheese doesn't stick. Do a little quick spray on some foil before I cover it up and put it in the oven. And yes, it is gonna require a little bit of patience because I know everyone's hungry, but that's what this season is all about. And my noodles are almost cooked. I'm gonna actually do what is called an aglio olio pasta, very simple and super delicious. And I'm just gonna simply add like 1 or 2 little fillets of these anchovies. And while I've got that going, guess what? In goes the garlic, as well as half of the parsley, and turn this heat down just a little bit. It's gonna get a little messy, but not even a big deal for me. Why? Even if a little bit of the water gets on there, you want that to happen because that starchy water is gonna create a cremosa, a creamy quality to it all. So in it goes. So give it a nice little toss. You can see it's very natural and flavorful. Honestly, this is a perfect side dish for just about every type of eating. And if you want, you can even add just a hint more salt and pepper. Okay, this has been uncovered for about 10-15 minutes, and it's got a beautiful kind of bubbly action going on there. And here's what I'm gonna do, folks. I am just simply gonna take a little bit of this. I'm gonna plate it right on top of some undressed arugula. And I know that this is super hot and bubbly, and so what I gotta do is be super careful. Look at that melty cheese right on top. So now that I've plated some grace and offered my prayers, this flavor brings me back to my time in Italy during Lent, walking the station churches, and then looking forward to a meal at table with my friends, now my brother priests, and basically sharing the grace. And I know that this recipe will help you do just that.